Good day to you. Now, I'm going to read to you a speech which I presented in English, and I'm going to be reading it off these palm cards, so I'm going to be looking down a lot during this video, as I'm only just getting started and don't really have any editing software. So, here goes. Men are asses. Women are angels. This is an opinionated view of society, which I feel occurs much too often in a contemporary sense. Are we not in a modern age where all men and women are to be treated equally and have the same opportunities? While it could be argued by both sexes that this age of equality and enlightenment is for reals, all that is needed is to take a step back and assess what is really happening. Men are seen as lesser beings, mocked for their weaknesses, while gaining no recognition for their strengths, while women are seen as creatures of majestic beauty, which can do no wrong. This is just one of several themes which Margaret Atwood touches upon in her speech, Spotty-Handed Villainesses. She complains about the place that women have been given in literature, that women cannot be portrayed as evil, and are forever the virtuous victim. While she complains about this labeling being untrue, I can agree with her opinion all the more. It's just when she says that society knows this is not true, that's where our likenesses cease. For the speech itself, Atwood was speaking as a female novelist, a strong supporter of the feminist movement, and a critic. She does, however, allude to her lack of support for extreme feminism, and she proposes that women are now seen in society as equal to men, and so they should be written about in the same way. Personally, the need for women to be viewed as something other than perfect is growing every day. Almost any person down the street could give examples of women being treated equally. A female prime minister, women owning managerial positions, and women doing blue-collar jobs usually fulfilled by men. While these points are valid and reasonable assumptions on society's views, these few perspectives do not give scope to the entirety of the treatment of men against women. Margaret Atwood uses many examples about the New Age role of women, and what is now acceptable. One of my favorites is, she could do new bad good things, such as leaving her husband and even deserting her children. She states that women involved with such behavior were praiseworthy for reasons explainable by the rights of a woman. Now, I've seen my fair share of dysfunctional families on television, in movies, and I've even read about them in books. Stop me if I'm wrong here, but the majority of the time, if a man were to leave his wife and kids, he is viewed as a lesser man, a coward, an ass. This is what I'm really trying to get at. While men are expected to face up to their responsibilities and, say, look after the family they're a part of, women can leave without a worry, with the explanation that they wanted to experience life as a free woman, and flex their rights as an equal human being. I might be mistaken here, but that doesn't sound too equal to me. Atwood also asks questions rhetorically. Did we face a situation in which women could do no wrong, but could only have wrong done to them? While she is referring to her view that we have moved on from this era of stereotyping, I feel that we are still deep in the middle of this sexism. I do not think that these days views such as this are used in the traditional sense anymore. Rather than being a means to stop women from achieving equality with men, I believe that phrases such as this can refer to today's society, with the rather different approach that the greatest strength of a woman is her female self. From my point of view, the knowledge that women were previously prejudiced against is what is these days keeping men back in society, stemming the success of men, instead making room for a woman's career. Society has been so caught up trying to make things right and heal the metaphorical wound left by the chauvinistic past, that society itself has forgotten to put on the brakes of progress, and women are now in a similar situation to the previous anti-equality oppressors of women. While they do not flex their politically correct might too often, women are seen in a basic sense as equals to men, But when that right of equality is threatened, the whole system comes crashing down, and all sense of gender fairness is forgotten as the female in question gains lawful rights over her brutal male oppressor. Now, I'm not talking about domestic violence, though. That's an entirely different issue. What I am talking about is that women can now outdo what a man could do in the sense of being a victim, and emerge victorious in either a court case, a ridiculous argument, or even a job interview. While women have for so long been positioned along with the furniture in a man's world, these days a man is a woman's toilet brush, and we really have been scrubbing the shit. Women are now supposedly equal, and I honestly believe that this is the road necessary for a brighter future. I am merely unconvinced in the way of how women are currently situated in the grand scheme of things, and the dominance they now hold over men. Like a candle being flamed by a gas torch, man's hold on to power is constantly slipping and melting away, until a point in the not too distant future when our control of society will be reduced to a bubbling pile of gooey wax. What I am asking for, what I am pleading for, is for women holding powerful positions and believe their equality with men is what gave them the opportunity to get there, to please just turn around and look back at the steps you took. To think in a man's perspective about whether your genetic lottery making you female gave you a head start against all the other men that never made it as far as you. More often than not, an employer, a teacher, or even a police officer will be swayed by a woman's gender to favor her over a man. Not because of their body, not because of their sexuality, but because of their supposed frailty in the eyes of society. On more than one occasion, I have heard or even seen a woman become much more feminine than usual when a situation arises where a woman is better off. Just ask yourself, are men seen as asses and women as angels?